Season 1 is officially kicking off. By the time you guys watch this, we're dick deep into Season 1. You're running your Mythic Zeros in Week 1, doing all that normal raid, heroic raid opening up. It's time to dive straight in, boys, and that means the gear grind has begun. Here we go. We got a video from the Comeback Kids here, exactly how to gear out to 260 plus easy this week. What to focus on first. Let's jump straight into this video here.
Okay, Season 1 is here, and this is going to be your step-by-step guide to gearing up your character in the most efficient way possible so I can save you time. A lot of us are busy adults who work most of the day, and we don't have a lot of time to sweat it out anymore. Not only that, there's also a massive mistake most players are going to be making when it comes to gearing up, so stick around until later in the video, because this is something you don't want to miss. Without further ado, let's dive into why everyone is going to be gearing up to 260 item level this week after learning all of this.
Nice.
So firstly, right when you log in, the first thing you want to do is go grab your weekly quest from Silvermoon City so you could be on track for opening up those easy pinnacle caches and getting your bountiful keys.
Yeah,
this right here is going to be your bread and butter.
Remember, bountiful keys, you get 3 of them from your first, is it 2 or 3? Damn it, I'm always shitty with this stuff. 2 or 3 from your first 2 caches, or first 3 caches, or as I like to call them, caches. You open those up, you get your keys, go to Bountiful Delves, unlock some good gear. That's what you want to do. So you always want to get a couple of these to start every week. It doesn't matter how you get the caches, but you want to go get them.
And earning very easy champion track loot this week and shooting our item level up substantially. Not only that, you can get a couple veteran pieces as well from these chests, which is pretty nice at this point in the game. Additionally, make sure you're on the lookout for any world quests that could potentially have bountiful key shards on them as rewards as well. This is something that you should be checking every single day, because if you get 100 key shards, it will turn it into a bountiful key. We'll dive into more about these shards a little later in the delve section. Moving on next, after this, we do have world bosses available now. One of these world bosses should be live on a rotation every single week, going through every zone in Midnight so far. Something that is also interesting to know is that these world bosses drop an instant piece of champion track gear.
Yeah, this is actually probably the first thing you want to do when servers go back up, is go kill that world boss, because everybody's going to go do that, like right away. And you're basically going to delete the world boss in like 3 seconds, because basically the entire server is going to be there. So this will be a good one to run to.
Not only that, it is warbound until equipped, meaning that you can transfer it across your account if you wanted to.
Good one to run to every time the server's reset.
We aren't exactly sure how the loot system is going to work for this, whether it's going to be guaranteed loot drop or it's going to go back to RNG base, because the system seems to go back and forth every season at this point. I would just say, for one of the very first things you should do after picking up your weekly quest, go knock out this world boss really quick to get your chance at a champion piece of loot. Another underhand, easy pitch for some great loot is actually going to be from LFR. Now, the gear in here will only be veteran track. Yes, that is true, but primarily what we're going to be doing is looking to obtain one of the early tier sets that can be dropped in both of the Dream Rift as well as the Void Spire raids. This right here will give you multiple opportunities at getting a tier set piece, and if you can get really lucky and grab a slot, it could potentially set you up for getting an early 2-set bonus later this week, which would be a nuclear power spike and give you a really nice reason to check.
I mean, yeah, some people are saying, ew, LFR. It's same as the LFR King. Ridiculous. We're going to go into normal when we go live back on Wednesday. We'll be going into normal raid, starting to clear that. So this won't matter, but I mean, I guess if you got some off time, or you got some, you're really like degenning away to start the season, LFR might be a good time, you know, to spend, just like he's mentioning right here. Also, you can get some crests out of LFR, obviously, and if you start to get your item level up, or just hold on to those crests, hoard them, you can upgrade them later on to champion crest to upgrade your champion gear. The grind really is to get to heroic level gear and then start upgrading that. We all know that's the end game grind for most of us. There's Myth Track gear, of course, out there, and you can get that through Mythic Plus. How many people are actually Mythic rating out there? Probably not a lot. So that's like your end game, really, is heroic with some Myth Track gear, maybe from keys towards the middle of the season when people start really pushing them.
Check out not only the raids, see what's going on before you hop into normal, and then you can go from there. So definitely queue up for LFR. It's going to take you probably like 15-20 minutes total to get all of this done. You have a potential of getting a tier set. Definitely would make it worth it. Okay, now that we're done with some...
that's a good point. J-Mall says, LFR is not opening now, is it? Do we got the first wing, at least, opening up today? I'll look that up real quick during the video.
The easy underhand pitch content. Let's dive into a little bit of the juicy stuff here, starting with Nightmare level praise. Don't forget, you have to be at Nightmare track level 4 to open up Nightmare level praise. If you still don't have just the journey progress yet, I suggest just doing it.
Yeah, I got it right here. I think it is the first wing. So we got Void Spire raid opening up. Yeah, and Raid Finder wing 1. And Dream Rift Raid Finder wing. So yeah, we got some LFR opening up today. Yes. I do it live. I'll check it
on
live.
normal and hard mode until you level it up to track level 4. Doing this will unlock the Nightmare Prey system, and there might be a quest for you to do at the Prey area, so just be sure to talk to Astalar Bloodsworn. From here, we can accept our Nightmare Prey hunt and start knocking these down. A very few important tips here that you need to know is that number 1, the gear dropping here will be champion track loot, meaning that it could shoot all the way up to 263 item level if you fully upgraded. Nice. Not only that, completing this will add towards your Great Vault progress by giving you hero track slots in your Great Vault, which is incredibly important for our free hero.
That's a big... See, I said I'm not sure if the Prey system's going to remain relevant, but the fact that it can give you hero track gear from your vault, I take it back. Greg's of Accounting with your solo content out there doing your delves. Maybe you go do some Prey as well. Yeah, this is actually a great thing, so I'm glad they did this. Making it relevant in the vault's a big deal. Definitely keeps it relevant throughout the season.
Piece next week. Additionally, when it comes to completing preys in a very efficient manner, make sure right after you accept the prey hunt to go over to your dedicated zone and go to the World Quest prey area located on your map. Around this area, there will be traps that you can disarm and other activities you can do, and just try to disarm as many of them as possible before you actually finish that prey world quest. Disabling these traps progresses you toward your progress in your hunt, and if you do that plus combining, other world quests, opening treasures, killing rares, and all this other stuff, while additionally finding anguish locations on your map, you should be able to trigger the Nightmare Prey hunt substantially faster than normal.
Not only that, you'll be collecting caches because you're doing world quests too, so you're like killing 2-3 birds with one stone here. It's a great way to spend your time.
And doing this has me completing hunts in about less than 10 minutes time, but if you want to do it naturally, just progress through the system as you do some of your other chores. That's
Trap was nerfed, I think, wasn't it?
After you complete your Nightmare Prey hunt, you open your chest, you should be getting a champion track level piece of gear and progressing toward that Nightmare cache at the Prey headquarters.
Okay, so traps might be nerfed, at least that's what Jamal in chat's saying. So maybe that's not a thing anymore, but still doing world quests does progress your Prey shit, so I mean, doing that around the Prey area, definitely you'll be able to, at least kill the, like I said, 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing.
At this point in the video, if you've done all previous ways to acquire loot, you should have a good amount of champion track pieces on your character, almost full veteran track, and potentially a tier set piece if you're lucky. Now you should be ready to do some harder content, and at this point you should be ready for tier 8 delves and higher. Ooh. The reason we did everything else first was because it helped us acquire our bountiful keys to stash up and use on bountiful delves right.
That's what I'm spending my morning doing today. I'm going to pump up delves as high as I can because getting them up, I think we can go up to tier 8 tier 7 right now. Getting to that tier 8 and knocking out these, we got bountiful delves open up using these restored coffer keys, good source of gear.
Now, these bountiful keys open up a bountiful chest at the end of a bountiful delve to give us a guaranteed champion track piece of loot at tier 8 delves or higher. Listen very carefully when I say this. You do not ever want to use a bountiful key at anything below a tier 8 bountiful delve.
For sure.
The reason for that is because there are a wide variety of breakpoints that give you a ton of rewards for doing the least amount of difficult content possible.
Yeah.
So as you can see on screen here, by doing a tier 8 bountiful delve, not only do we start earning champion track loot, but we start filling out our Great Vault with...
How do you get coffer keys? Good question, Cyclone. Maybe some people don't know this. Your first 2 caches from whatever you do, those treasure boxes, each one of those will guarantee you a coffer key. So you could do world quests, you can do, what's it called? The Prey system. You could do, there's whatever gives you a cache at the end. If you see a cache reward, that chest, the first 2 you open up from reset to reset every week will give you 2 bountiful coffer keys. The weekly chests, yes. And then beyond that, you'll get coffer key shards for just doing shit, running delves, whatever. I think it's 100 of those. You combine them and you can get yourself a coffer key. Those will automatically combine, by the way, now when you walk into delves. It used to be a thing where you had to click them in your bag. Those are now currencies. That'll be in your currency tab. And the second you walk into a delve, they'll automatically be converted to coffer keys. So there you go.
Hero track progress as well,
World
which
Quest
is critical
shards
for progressing
too,
our character as efficiently as possible. Not only that, something you need to be on the lookout for in delves this week is
Oh,
the
yeah.
Trove Hunter's Bounty. This bounty map has a
maps.
chance to drop inside of your delves, where if you activate this item,
Another piece
you
of
will
gear.
get a hidden treasure chest at the end of your next tier 4 delve or higher. Absolutely do not activate this bounty and do anything less than a tier 8 bountiful delve, please. Completing this Trove Hunter's Bounty will give you a guaranteed hero track piece of loot at
That's
this
big
rank
dick
at the
gear,
end of your
guys.
delve, which is going to be nuclear for
Oh my
progressing
God.
your character as early as this week. This is something that is on a weekly cooldown, meaning you can only activate a Trove Hunter Bounty once a week to get a random hero track piece of delve loot. Not
That's
only
big.
that, you can actually use this to open up your Nightmare Prey cache as well back at the Prey headquarters, so that is an option as well. We'll see how this actually works and what the better option is here. So
Supposedly these maps have some bad luck protection built in, where like every time you run a delve or whatever, if you don't have a map yet, you have a higher chance of getting a map the next time you run. So getting these maps, hopefully everyone gets one this week. That's a freaking giant hero track gear from this. That's what I mean. Delves, my God. The Gregs of the world are just eating these days.
with further testing, I'll be able to inform you guys later on in the week. So between opening bountiful delves for champion track loot and this free hero track piece of gear, delves are going to be an incredible way to gear up efficiently this week.
Yeah.
Not only that, we have a couple very important notes to talk about when it comes to delves. Number one, something brand new added is the new boon buffs when the season opens up for delves. This unlocks literally at track level 1 for the delve season, and it makes it to where whenever you open a mislaid curiosity, we
Boon of
also get an
possibilities?
additional buff that can make you stronger, so make sure you're on the lookout for these power-ups and mislaid curiosities to progress faster through delves. Not only that, apparently there are going to be these blessing buffs involved in delves this season, and these are going to be the blessing of potency and the blessing of zeal. There might be a couple other ones. It's been really hard to data mine them and figure them out. Now, I'm not 100% certain on where we get these buffs also, but from the research I've done with testing on the alpha, these are said to have been dropping from the Nemesis strong boxes at the end of delves. So the idea is you finish a delve completely, you get that buff, and then encourages you to push to another delve that will then make you stronger. So a nice little addition here. When it comes to the actual delve tracks, there are a couple things you need to be aware of. Number one is that Gilded Stash is...
Isn't tier 11 giving higher end crests or not? I believe so, but the gear caps at tier 8 delves. I know the gear caps at tier 8. I don't know what tier 11 in terms of crests is going to give you. I think if I remember right, we were getting like hero track crests from this shit at the end. But yeah, there is the crest is what keeps going. The gear ends though. Used to be gilded. Yes, it was giving gilded. But now gilded would be hero track crests. But it was the gear that was capping at tier 8 delves.
apparently open at Journey Track Rank 2. But apparently, according to the seasonal journey progression, they don't actually start awarding us Myth Track Crest until you hit Delver's Journey Rank 4. I don't know if this is a typo or something, but this could be Blizzard trying to slow us down a tad bit when progressing through Delve, so we're not getting Mythic Track Crest as early as week 1.
So we were just talking about crests coming from those like tier 11 delves. It looks like they tied it to the Delver's Journey bar now. So this first week, probably none of us are going to be able to do that because you got to fill this shit out first. Unless you're really just blind dicking these freaking delves down.
In the season. Additionally, at Journey Track Rank 3, there will be a Sanctified banner that will spawn in your delve, and if you find...
I don't know if you can get to tier 4 in week 1. You probably can't. It's probably like time gated.
Find this inside the delve, it will give you additional rewards at the end. At Journey Rank 5, you'll be able to purchase gear from the Ethereal at the end of the delve, and he provides a wide variety of loot, which is really, really cool. At Journey Rank 8, we could potentially start earning Champion Warbound track loot from tier 9 delves and above to give to some of our alternate characters, which is incredible. And at Journey, bountiful coffers have a chance to drop hero track loot, which is insane. A couple little bonus tips here is that whenever you complete a bountiful key, you will get some extra reputation for a random renown, which...
Hold on, that said something about tier 11 delves right there. What is that? See, tier 11 bountiful coffers now have a chance to provide either a piece of hero equipment or unobtained mana crystals used to purchase more powerful equipment. Okay, so there you go. Hero track equipment dropping from those. But isn't that already the case with bountiful? So I don't know what the difference is between a tier 11. Maybe another one? Another one? Tier 8 and 9 and 10 bountiful coffers also reward smaller quantities. So I guess the mana crystals becomes the thing that now starts to work out.
You will get some extra reputation for a random renown, which is really nice. And do remember that coffer key shards they drop from pretty much all forms of content in the game now at this point, and we do have a weekly cap on the amount of keys we can make on them now. Personally, I think 6 is more than enough for each week, but the fact that we're able to get these easier is much more
There's
fun,
your coffer
in my
key
opinion.
shards. Yep, Pasal's right. 100 of these will give you another bountiful coffer key.
Additionally, this week, Mythic Zeros will open up, and it will be scaled to champion track level loot and reset on a daily cooldown.
Yeah, people
this is
be
going to be a
grinding these
perfect
out this
opportunity
week.
for you to do world tours if you want to, or farm specific gear slots and best in slot items before you launch into Mythic Plus next week. Not only that, this is going to be an incredible way to farm out Crest every single day, and with Mythic Zeros being open, champion loot should be really easy to come by. Not only that, after completing our weekly quest, we should now have access to an additional spark, which gives us 4 sparks total. Once again, I highly recommend to take your sparks and spend them on weapon crafting.
Yeah, weapon.
So many times I'm seeing guildmates or people looking for craft on their spark for pieces of armor or rings or bracers, when all of this power level gain is very, very minimal. The absolute best piece of gear you can use your spark on, by far, is going to be your weapons. Now, because we have 4 sparks total now, that means you can craft your two-handed weapons with your spark, which as early as this week can potentially be crafted up to 276 item level, which is insane.
Big day.
Not only that, you can put the best in slot stats on it, embellishments, enchants. So please do not make the mistake of using your sparks and crafting it on something like a ring or a leg piece or bracers. Weapons are the biggest upgrades. Use them there. Additionally, something a little bit sweaty that you can do.
Interesting. Kale says in chat, as a tank, I'm not using sparks on a weapon. Why not? I mean, for a blood DK, the weapon, I mean, the bigger dick your weapon is, the better you're going to heal and everything. So it does matter. Why would you not use it on a weapon? I'm interested to find out.
This week is try to focus on the Champion of the Dawn Midnight Season 1 achievement. The reason you want to try to complete this week is because if you do complete it, you earn a Crystallized Dawn Flux here, which is pretty much a Catalyst charge at the Catalyst location in Silvermoon. When you put a piece of equipment in the Catalyst system and use this charge, it will transfer it into a tier set piece, potentially giving you a huge power spike early this week. So if you got lucky and got a tier set piece in LFR or even normal, you might want to grind this bad boy out as early as this week. I would say the easiest option would probably be getting 1600 in rated PvP. And to be completely honest with you, 1600 really isn't that difficult to obtain, especially in like solo shuffle or solo battlegrounds, when all the queue times are going to be really, really short early on in the season. The other option is going to be completing the raid on heroic difficulty, but that's probably not going to be possible. Lastly, I wanted to talk to you guys quickly about some Crest upgrades, because in Midnight, they made a couple massive changes that I need to break down for you. Now listen, in case you have not noticed, the gear upgrade tracks in Midnight overlap, meaning that Veterans 5 and 6 out of 6 match up with Champion track 1 and 2 out of 6, as you can see here. By understanding this, you can actually use this to save yourself hundreds of champions.
Yeah, so like he's going to say it, and it's pretty obvious here. You should push your champion. If you have champion crests, push this shit as high as you can, because then when you upgrade your hero track gear at these first 2 stages at least, it shouldn't cost you hero crests. In theory. I don't know if that's how this is going to work, but in theory, you shouldn't have to use crests. This should just be gold up to this point to get you to the same item level, and then once you're at that point, you can push it higher with hero crests.
Track Crest across all of your gear using the Crest discount system. You have to understand in World of Warcraft that if you hit a certain item level upgrade on a specific piece of gear slot,
you should get the
you can
discount,
upgrade all other forms of previous gear on that gear slot.
Yeah, see here he's upgrading. It's behind my face. And he's not using any crests. It's just costing him 30 gold. So there you go. That's the discount.
Not for free, because you've already hit the higher item level requirement. So for example, as you can see right now on my Champion track headpiece, I cannot upgrade it because I don't have Champion Crest. But if I take my Veteran track headpiece and upgrade it only using 20 Veteran Crest, I'm actually able to put back on my Champion track piece and upgrade it for free and save myself 20 Champion Crest because of the overlapping item levels that you see on screen. It's important to note that this works not only for Champion, but for all forms of loot progression, so make sure to keep that in mind. Additionally, don't forget about the Crest conversion achievement system as well. In Midnight, once you outgrow a crest, the game will give you an achievement and you can convert your lower level crest that you do not need anymore into higher tier crest.
Right.
For example, once you reach item level 237 in every slot, you unlock the ability to convert Adventurer Crest into veteran crest. Then once you hit 250 item level in every slot, you can convert veteran into champion, so on and so forth through the other gear tiers.
We're all growers,
the reason I haven't
showers.
spent any of my crests and I'm waiting until I get full champion gear is to take advantage of that gear overlap system that we just talked about to get hundreds of crests for free. But also I can convert all of my adventurer crest into veteran and then all of my veteran into champion crest very easily whenever I want. Yes, I'm well aware there is a cap every single week. You guys don't have to tell me in the comment section below. I'm just going to make sure not to hit the cap.
No, that's not what he should do. He should not say that. He should not say anything about this and let the ragers comment rage comments over and over, which shoots the video through the algorithm. Bad choice on his part. You got to let the ragers rage in the comment section. Those are my favorite comments. It's like the guys who come in and say, "You still playing this fucking game? Dead game." It's like, but thank you, sir. Boom, shoot the video up even more in the algorithm by commenting dead game. Wonderful.
If I'm desperate for some crest, I just use the conversion. This is how I'm able to push my item level incredibly quickly, and understanding this system saves me not only crest, but time that I don't need to spend farming content to hit my cap every week. With all that being said, you guys know what time it is. It's time for the priority checklist, so get ready to take a picture and have this up on your second monitor go through step by step on launch day. First up, make sure you go to Silver Moon City, pick up your weekly quest, and start working toward your pinnacle caches for your bountiful keys. After that, go and kill the world boss that is available, as it can drop you a champion piece of gear very quickly for doing pretty much nothing. After this, run looking for raid for both the raids available this week, as we're trying to get lucky and get some free tier set pieces, because if we get this early on, it's a huge power spike. After that, run Nightmare Prey hunts and complete all of them that are available. Remember, these drop champion track gears, so it's going to be really great for gearing up. From here, run tier 8 bountiful delves and farm out your Trove Hunter's bounty to get your free hero track piece of loot this week. Remember to only use bountiful keys on tier 8 bountiful delves or higher. And after all of this, you can run some Mythic 0 dungeons to fill out any pieces of champion loot that you may be missing that has really good stats for your character. From there, you can use your spark to craft your weapon at an incredibly high level, pushing past 270 item level. And don't forget about the crest upgrade system that we talked about earlier in this video to save hundreds of champion crests to progress your character as quickly as possible. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow this order, you should be easily pushing past 260 items. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow this order, you should be easily pushing past 260 item level as early as this week without having to no life the game. Just focus on the higher reward content first. Use your crest efficiently and follow the priority checklist. If you guys got anything from this video, let's get some Season 1 hype in the comment section below. My name is Sky from the Comeback Kids. I will see you all in the next one.
Great video.
One last note we wanted to make.
It's the guild invite shit. Join the man's guild.
Invited by you. Invite tab. Hey everybody, thanks for watching.
Great
video.
If you
enjoyed the content, consider subscribing.
It'll be linked down below if you want to screenshot that shit. I'll link it in the chat.
To stay up to date on all things Warcraft. My name's Sky for the Comeback Kids. It's an absolute pleasure to make content for you all. I'll see you in the next one.
There it is, boys. Put quite simply, the gear grind has begun, and that's how you spend your first week here. Next week, obviously, Mythic Plus kicks off. You can start going through that shit. You'll be grinding out Heroic Raid, Mythic Plus, and we're full-fledged. That's it. We're in this expansion, boys. So this is an exciting time to play WoW. Always fun. And enjoy the season. Start the grind. Nice video from the Comeback Kids.